AITAH foretelling my soon-to-be ex-wife. She can't have my daughter overnight. I'll try to keep this short, but there needs to be some backstory. Warnings for self-harm discussion, abusive relationships, and discussion on child S. I am 30 meters, have been married to my wife S29F for 10 years now. A few months ago late summer she packed up and left me, taking our daughter E7F with her while I was at work. She ran off with F44 meters who she had met at work approximately 2 months prior. I took it poorly to say the least and threatened to harm myself. I received help and recovered from the shock of losing what I thought was a loving relationship. I'm seeing a therapist regularly, and I am doing well in my day-to-day life now, all things considered. During this time, my daughter stayed with S and F for 2 weeks where they refused to let me see her or know where they were, though I found them as S ordered things online to the new address, knowing she was somewhere mostly safe and being cared for. I got myself a lawyer and started a custody battle as well as filing for divorce. Since then, my daughter has begun living with me almost exclusively, and I've been granted temporary primary custody of her by the courts until we can come to a full resolution. Since then, I have learned from my daughter that when she was staying with S and F that she was staying up until midnight, waiting for S to get home from work, wasn't getting dinner always, and most disgustingly IMO would occasionally share the bed with S and F. From my understanding, S would be in PJs, which is fine by me. Might hate her personally, but is still her mom and wasn't uncommon for them to cuddle in bed. And F wore a pair of shorts only. To add to this, my daughter has issues with getting rashes in her privates, and so the doctor recommended that she not wear underwear to bed, whether she did or not, while sharing the bed with them. I don't know, as on very rare occasions when she's scared she will want to cuddle in bed with me, but it knows that she has to have on underwear or else I won't. I know that this isn't something that my daughter is just telling me either, as when brought up with S, she angrily informed me that so what? It's no different than her sleeping with an uncle, which I also would not allow. And that step-parents are going to happen. My issue is that even accepting as a cold hard fact that there's nothing sexual between my daughter and F, and no danger of that, which I absolutely do not accept without doubt if nothing else, then this is normalizing this behavior for my daughter and grooming her for a predator. She had met this man one time prior to going to live with him and likes him 'cause he gives her candy all the time. On top of that, S was S as a child and physically, mentally abused by her father growing up, and lived in a house with an abusive relationship between mother and father. Since I found out about the co-sleeping of SF and my daughter, I've refused to allow S to keep her overnight since, as she shows no sign of viewing this as inappropriate, or that she would stop it from happening. She has continued to get my daughter to ask for sleepovers ever since, and it breaks my heart to see my daughter so upset that she doesn't get more time with her mom. Her mom has only been seeing her once every other week lately, so am I the asshole?